Now, from 41 Action Sports, here's Monday Morning Quarterback, sponsored by TDR Auto Plaza, changing the way used cars are sold. Located on I-35 in Kearney, Missouri.
Well, hey there, and welcome to Monday Morning Quarterback. I'm Mick Shaffer with the panel here. Mark Richter, former Kansas City Chief, Cody Tapp, and Soren Petro, both of Sports Radio 810. Fellas, thanks for being here. Look, hey, 3-0 are the Chiefs with a Monday Morning Quarterback. I think it's no coincidence there, right?
Yeah. Yes, we are the key. These kind of riveting conversations are what's driving the franchise.
And they're after-the-fact conversations as well. But first, we'll start with opening thoughts, I guess, on the Chiefs' latest win on the road in Los Angeles, not San Diego, over the Chargers. Mark, you go first.
Well, I think it was a good win. Anytime you can go on the road in a division and get a good, solid win, I think it's obviously a positive thing. You move to 3-0. I think the thing that's important to me looking at this win, though, too, is that for about 2.5 quarters of this game, the Kansas City Chiefs, disappeared, right? Overall, just completely disappeared. And it looked like Phillip Rivers might be able to do something to come back and beat this team. But when they needed to, and when it came down to crunch time, the Chiefs just kind of stepped forward, made a few plays, and then what can you say about Kareem Hunt? He is the key right now for this offense and this team. And
certainly, they have kind of just sleptwalked or kind of gone through the motions for periods in all 3 games, but they've closed in all 3 games as well.
Yeah, there's no doubt 3-0 is a great sign for the Kansas City Chiefs, but I think what's even better is that they can play better. I mean, we sound like a broken record here every Sunday talking about, well, it wasn't perfect. I mean, special teams continue to have their question marks. They have get some penalties. That's been a problem for this team all along. Yet here they are 3-0, and they do it in convincing fashion. They finish games, which is what you have to do in the NFL. 42-10, they've outscored their opponents in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
42-10.
Yeah.
That's what good football teams do, is they finish, and the Chiefs are doing that when it counts.
And Cody, this is supposed to be the toughest portion of their schedule, right? The first half of the season, and so far spotless.
I think the whole conversation before the season was like, okay, leading up to the bye week before they take on Dallas, coming back from it was, okay, can they be like 6-3 because the back half of that schedule certainly favors itself. It is way beyond that now. Pittsburgh lost today or yesterday to a bad team. The Broncos lost to the Bills. The Chiefs, not only are they winning, like Soren mentioned, it's not that just they're winning by double digits against teams when they're not playing well. Over 100 yards in penalties, right? Alex Smith only had 150 yards passing. And we might mention that Kareem Hunt was dominant, but so much of that came in that fourth quarter when they pushed ahead, too. I thought Andy Reid just shut it down. I think Andy Reid is the kind of guy that gets ahead 14 points and says, you know what I can do? Ride this out. You know how hard it is to blow a 14-point lead in the NFL when you're Andy Reid? Hard. So I'm just going to take this lead, and I'm going to go home with the ball, right? I feel like there is some of that with Reid, and that's why they bogged down kind of in the middle. Yeah. But, hey, the Chargers' defensive line and the Eagles' defensive line, those are not easy teams to play against, so that is part of it, too.
And then you mentioned Reid. I mean, listen, I think I saw it, and I was looking for it. This is only the 3rd time in his career that he started 3-0. We know he did it in 2013. But, he's not a notorious fast starter. I mean, my theory has always been that he needs some game tape on his opponents to start breaking them down, and then he really takes over and dominates his opposition. But, 3-0 is significant with Andy Reid because he finishes strong. I mean, you talk about the team finishing the fourth quarters. Well, if you break the season down into quarters, which I know Mark Richter's coach, Dick Vermeil, loved to do.
All the
second,
time.
third, and fourth quarters are when Andy Reid is at his best. So to get a good start like this is I think, playing with house money when you've got Andy Reid as your head coach.
Let's talk about Kareem Hunt here, Mark. Have you seen a rookie make a splash like this? Since yourself, obviously, which you did, not in jest, had a great rookie campaign in the NFL. But this guy, I mean, every week is tying explosive plays marks, touchdown marks, yardage marks for rookies in the NFL.
Oh, he is. He's breaking all records right now. We've all seen that. But I think when you watch the game yesterday, Cody and I were talking about this earlier. It was a situation where he had a quiet, just over 100 yards before that last run. And when I say quiet, just not the explosive plays that we've seen out of him, but the things he's been able to do as a rookie coming in to the National Football League are just remarkable right now. And my only concern right now is this, is you talk a lot, and we always talked about this when I was playing, do guys end up hitting a rookie wall at some point? Right now, they seem to be managing the amount of touches he has. They're going to have to continue to do that, and they've got to keep him healthy. There is not a ton of depth behind Kareem Hunt right now, and that's my worry.
Yeah, Kendrick West had nothing going in that game. And, and look, he didn't have a lot of great blocking, but part of that is you make the blocking based on being able to read the hole and see where to go. And Hunt obviously has that ability. Look, 17 carries and 1 catch, so that's 18 touches on the game. And I saw everybody in the Twitter sphere just furious that Kareem Hunt wasn't just getting the ball more. Look, that sounds great in week 3, but they're going to have to play 16 games and hopefully 3 or 4 if you got to go the wild card route, more games after that. And this kid's never played more than 12 or 13 games in his life. It's all right. Andy Reid knows what he's doing. Running backs, only have a short lifespan, and you need this guy healthy. And at the end of the game, when they needed him to have a burst in his legs, he had it. So, relax if they don't give him the ball. I said, he should have 30 touches. Have you done the math? Do you know what 30 touches is? It's death on a running back.
You remember Jamal Anderson?
God, you remember Larry Johnson's career ending? Do you remember everybody who got 25 touches at 400 carries? There's only like 3 or 4 guys in the history of the league that have had over 400 carries in a season. So just chill. I mean, it's all fine with Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, I think, Cody, I don't think he won the game on the 69-yard touchdown run. I believe it was the play before where I thought he won the game. It was like 3rd and 3. He puts his shoulder pads down between the tackles and picks up a first down. We continue to see the versatility of Kareem Hunt.
We can talk about it being a quiet lead up to the 100, which it did feel that way. He was just averaging 6 yards a carry. Yeah. Up to that point, on the season, Kareem Hunt is averaging 8.3 yards per carry. And he's on pace to have 2,800 yards from scrimmage. Soren's talking about he's fine. That would, by the way, just be an NFL record by 400 yards. Yeah. Beating out Marshall Faulk and the greatest show on turf. So no big deal. He's not off to a hot start or anything.
And look, he does a good job of running behind his pads. I mean, he takes on defenders.
But he took hits tonight. He took big hits yesterday. He did big hits yesterday.
He took some big hits in that game, and I think that's one of the things you got to keep in mind. I mean, it's kind of like pitchers pitching out of trouble. A pitch is not the same no matter what you throw, right? If you've got the bases loaded and nobody out, you're having to put a little extra on it. Well, when you're having to blow through guys, I mean, that wears you out. So, look, his usage was fine. The Chiefs won. Kareem Hunt is a star, and you want him to play all the games, not just have a big day for your fantasy team.
Quickly here, guys, let's talk about the next game on Monday night against the Redskins. They come to town. What's Monday Night Football like for you, Mark? Was it for you?
Oh, it's exciting when you get to play on a Monday night on the national stage. I don't think it's as exciting as the Sunday night game now being the more of the marquee matchup, but Arrowhead will be rocking. This team's 3-0 coming back for their second home game against the Washington Redskins, who's a good team. Yeah. Coming in here to Kansas City. It'll be an exciting time. I think, as Soren mentioned, my coach Dick Vermeil used to break it down in the 4 quarters of the year. This is an opportunity to end the first quarter 4-0.
Yeah, guys, if the Chiefs haven't had it already, this will probably be their coming out party on Monday Night Football.
Well, they need it. They, not just for the sake of what we're talking about, like can they get to 6-3 in 9 games or before they get to those bye weeks. It's going to be a really tough Redskins team and a one that hasn't run the ball particularly well. Well, the Chargers weren't running the ball particularly well before yesterday, and they came to play. Melvin Gordon had a good half before suffering like a ticky-tack injury in that part. It's a chance to put another feather in the cap to start the season 4-0. Soren said with the slow start that they have, and the next 4 games after that, it doesn't get easy when you start going prime time against. Because it's not just a primetime game against Redskins. It's primetime against Oakland. It's primetime against Denver. All the division guys coming behind it. I mean, this is a huge game to kind of go the right direction.
I think it is a big game, too, because throwing the fact we're talking about an 8-game win streak on the road. Right. They don't have an 8-game win streak at home. Yeah. I mean, they got to do a better job of closing games out at home against Tennessee and Tampa last year. They couldn't do that. So I do think it's important to make Arrowhead. Look, you're going to fight all year to try to get home field advantage to what? Come to a place where you're 5-3 during the course of the regular season? No, I mean, Arrowhead needs to be an 8-0 place for the Kansas City Chiefs, and then hopefully the playoff games are played there and they continue to play well at home. But that's been a problem for them.
Great stuff, guys. We appreciate it. Soren, Cody, Mark, this has been your Monday Morning Quarterback.
This has been Monday Morning Quarterback, sponsored by TDR Auto Plaza, changing the way used cars are sold. Located on I-35 in Kearney, Missouri.